We up and I'm feeling like a new me. Stacking new sets, some new E. NFTs, all of them you need. Back in my zone like 2-3. All time high, hit a new peak. Let's go. Homie, the Bulls is back. I said the Bulls is back.
GM, and welcome back to the channel. Now in today's video we have an update here starting with BTC, also Kujira as well. They've got some updates, some things dropping today, hint hint, merch, plus some fundamental analysis on Polygon as well, giving you the TLDR on what's going on with Polygon and why it's pumping right now. So if you enjoy this, make sure you do subscribe to the channel, follow along over on Twitter if you're watching there, and let's jump in. So a naked chart here for BTC, currently just under 36,500, cooling off a little bit, but as you zoom out and look at the charts here, we are in a very much strong uptrend, but if we do have a bit of a cool off period over the next couple of weeks, that would be actually welcome at this point to really sort out the portfolio. This was posted by Ansem just yesterday. Highly recommend taking some notes on this. Before the market pulls back, you should already have your list of the tokens you've been waiting to buy and try and point out the buy levels at which you want to ape in, which alts led the previous rally, the likes of Injective, etc., which alts haven't moved and have divergence in lack of attention, and you can fill that in with upcoming catalysts as well. So like we've seen here with Matic, started pumping during the last week with some catalysts we're going to look at here. It was a little bit of a sleeper of a trade and it seems to be gathering momentum. There will be many of these opportunities in the market. So get notepads out and make sure you do take notes, a bit of a trading journal if you will, and try and make the most of the opportunities in front of us. Now potentially macro factor on BTC pullback today could be the fact we have the US CPI coming out today. So here on Forex Factory for all your major macro events, core CPI in the US comes out at 8:30 a.m. I believe that is Eastern time. 0.3% was the previous CPI read, and they're expecting this to be forecasted at 0.3% today, which could therefore be a nothing burger if that does come in. CPI year over year, the figure was 3.7% last month, and 3.3% is the forecast for this month. So that is a market mover potentially. We also have this gaslighting off the charts here from Joe Biden. Just listening to this crazy talk for anyone who knows anything about economics.
I'm sick of this stuff. We have to talk about it because the American people think the reason for inflation is government spending more money. Simply not true.
So pretty much denying the fact that the inflation is due to money printing. We know that quantitative easing is the cause of inflation, but they have politicians like him and many others who seemingly deny that this is the reason, or maybe don't even know that that is the reason. Think about it, if you double the money supply, everyone wants access to specific types of products and services. Say you want to buy milk, butter, sugar, those kind of things. If there's double the amount of money in supply, then over time, the price is likely to double of said items. So with this kind of gaslighting going on, it is a perfect advert for Bitcoin. Then we have this from Michael Sonnenschein. He is the CEO over at Grayscale. Grayscale behind GBTC, that trust for Bitcoin. And they've been asking for that spot ETF for a long time here. The courts have ruled in favor of them getting the approval as well. So we're waiting for a date from the SEC. January the 10th, 2024 is the likely date for a load of ETFs to be given the green light, but this could come earlier and even as early as the 17th, which is Friday of this week. So him coming out and saying this, it's been a 10-year dress rehearsal. We're ready for the main event. Is this therefore coming sooner rather than later? 17th of November, potentially this Friday. Let's wait and see for this, but this will spark obviously more renewed interest in the markets. And clearly there is, we're seeing this across socials right now, definitely feeling it on the YouTube stuff as well. Subscriber count going up, views generally trending up as well. There's obviously more interest. So if you're a newbie here to the channel, do drop a comment down below. Obviously subscribe as well, that'll help me out. But let's continue on, plenty more to rattle through here. Macro outlook from Goldman Sachs. Very interesting here. We're starting to see more positivity coming from major players. So again, likely what we're going to see is a nice rally in 2024 across asset classes. Goldman Sachs saying, look, the global economy has performed better than expected in 2023. They expect more disinflation in the next year. And by the end of 2024, the US to be on track at 2 to 2.5% in terms of their inflation figures. They now see the recession risk somewhere around 15% only, which is a very positive outlook compared to what many people are saying out there. They believe most of the central banks have finished finished their hiking cycles. Bank of Japan likely to start cutting in half two of 2024, and China will continue stimulus within their policies due to their lack of growth. A lot of this, of course, bullish for Bitcoin, the crypto asset class more broadly. And that pretty much concludes our macro update here and BTC. So let's move on to Kujira here. So Kujira fans, you can get your hands on merch starting today. So this is the @Kujira merch store on Twitter. It is released today at some point, just waiting for the latest tweet to come out. Let me just play you a few clips here. I will be doing my Christmas shopping for my family with Kujira based hoodies and shirts. They do have an absolutely epic football based jersey. So if anyone does want to actually start a five-a-side team with me, more than happy to do that. It's this one down here. This guy's modeling. That is a belter of a top. So mugs, hats, sweaters, even footy jerseys for the football enjoyers out there. I think this is going to fly off the shelves and probably sell out very quickly. As of course, what we've seen recently is Kujira participants, those who've been investing in this, have had a significant wealth effect over the last couple of months. Many people up at least around a 4x at this point. More news here around OpenX. So OpenX run these competitions on kind of like a monthly basis or something, saying who do we want to have listed on the exchange next. Kujira has come second previously under some strange circumstances. Mockcoin did win, but Kujira has won the latest one. So they've said congratulations to Kujira for recent successes and for winning our latest perps listing poll. We're working with the QG team to do this in the best possible way. Our devs have been instructed to work 24 hours and only eat cheeseburgers until they get it done. So OpenX listing, of course, OpenX has somewhat of a reputation with it because 3 Arrows Capital guys have been involved in this one and are some of the founding members. You know, some people don't really like this exchange, but nonetheless, it's obviously positive for QG to be listed on here overall. TVL of the chain, Kujira, 89, almost 90 mil. Yesterday, it did actually hit 100 mil as per screenshot for proof on here. And typically what we see is that the TVL leads the way, and then afterwards the price catches on up. So as you can see here, November the 9th, we're like 70 mil, November the 6th, 50 mil. It's pretty much gone up 2x in the last 2 weeks here. And so looking at the chart here, this is potentially that bull flag consolidation before another leg up. Of course, not financial advice. I have no idea if this goes up, down, or sideways, but I definitely like the trajectory for this overall. I like the branding. We got merch coming, exchange listings coming. All the tokens are now in circulation. Everything works an absolute charm. Do check out the damn dApps. If you haven't used the dApps here, you can go on liquidity pools and provide liquidity for 2 stablecoin pairs and actually get a real rate of return here of 15%. The incentives on this are very, very nominal. So around 15% in true yield on stables as people move between these on a very regular basis on the application. I do have heaps of videos on Kujira going through all the tutorials of how to use this thing because I've been bullish on this for a very long time, since the Luna days 2021. So do go through the channel, make sure you're up to speed with how this all works, and you'll see for yourself by using the dApps why people are giga bullish on Kuji, market cap 433 mil. Comparison here. Kujira, if it reaches the price of Nia protocol right about now, it would be trading at $13. Do you think that is undervalued or not? Drop me a comment down below. Nia's current TVL is just 46 mil, and it did top out at over $1 billion TVL in the previous market cycle, but I believe Kujira can actually knock socks off that. If we do click on Kujira price to Nia's all-time high, however, you get a crazy picture down here, $101. But let's move on. So Polygon, the Matic token, or POL as it is rebranding towards, is looking mighty bullish as well. So they've had some major changes here. Polygon 2.0 is coming out, and the zero knowledge proofs, that is ZK rollups, their kind of implementation of this is going to be almost a software development kit for others to come and plug and play with. So if you want ZK tech, you want ZK rollups, Polygon seem to be leading the race here. So they are doing very well. If we just pull out the chart here, it's actually not that far off all-time highs. All-time highs, $2.90. This thing's pretty much trading at a buck at this point in time. Nice reversal on here. Macro lows, 55 cents. I think people will be looking pretty handsome once we see what is going on here. So the rebrand, what does it mean? So you get a token with a brand new chart for the new cycle. i.e. there is no baggage weighing that chart down anymore. That might sound a little bit silly, but we've seen this time and time again. And as I pointed out just last week, for the merit circle to beam migration, the beam chart is pretty much in up only mode, as to, I believe, Polygon can be as well. I don't know what it is about the psychology of this, but a fresh chart just seems to leave it with no baggage, and it does seem to fly. So I like this. I like a rebrand going into a new market cycle and a bull market. It makes a lot of sense. I would recommend giving this a read. 3POC Labs. They start off here saying that the POS sidechain, so that is the proof of stake sidechain, which is kind of the Ethereum layer 2 environment, the kind of typical one you've probably used prior to this point. That went on a huge rampage last cycle, did 100x from bear to bull. Present day though, Matic has gone up 64% off the bottom, outperforming ETH and major ETH beta like Lido and Arbitrum. The major resistance on the chart somewhere around 90 cents. It is just above this right now. And so the next region of interest may be up here in towards 150. A lot of people betting big on Matic right now. As you can see, they have their own public chains. Then these supernets. So these are where other protocols are coming and launching ZK environments to take full advantage of the kind of infrastructure these guys have built out. Huge throughput and low fees. So an interoperable layer sits there. Staking layer on top of Ethereum. Polygon 2.0 is the brand name for this. Point 4 down here, Polygon CDK. This allows projects to launch ZK powered L2 chains that are interoperable with other chains within the Polygon ecosystem using Polygon's open source codebase. Immutable X and one of my investments, A-Star, have started this process. When big projects do things like this and use tech solutions of others, it is bullish for said solution. They further go on about the tokenomics. It will have a 10 billion token max supply, most of which are already out there, and then 2% annual inflation, 1% going to validator rewards, those validating the networks by staking tokens, and 1% to ecosystem support. If we just move on to this one though, what Polygon has in its favor is huge business development works. They have some of the biggest brands in the world on side with them. Starbucks, Nike, Liverpool Football Club, Amazon, Disney, Coca-Cola, just crazy amounts of integrations that will really help spur this thing on during a bull market, as you can leverage these brand names and get normie investors to definitely buy your tokens. But back to the kind of main TLDR point on why POL, this new token, this new brand, is so effective and is likely to gain a lot of value. So this is kind of the TLDR on the reward system within POL, this new token here. It says POL will become this kind of third generation of native assets, hyper-productive tokens. If you've learned anything about eigenlayer and restaking of ETH, you'll have an understanding of this right now. But if you don't know anything about that, just to simplify things, these will be productive assets. You can take Polygon, you will be able to stake the Polygon token and receive an APR, a return on your investment, but also for these other projects that launch on top of their ZK EVM environment. So if you have your own ZK rollup, for example, we just saw IMX or A-Star, they potentially will also be giving you rewards if you decide to restake your POL tokens to their chain as well to help validate transactions. As it says in the purple, validators can validate multiple chains, restaking. Every chain can offer multiple roles and thus rewards to the validators. So you could therefore be getting staking rewards in Polygon tokens and also say A-Star tokens, all for staking just one token overall. Seems pretty incredible to me. Then Maple Leaf Cap with this bit of information here. Potentially the narrative could be that Polygon or the Matic token or the POL token will become the fastest horse in the L2 race, and they're essentially allowing RAAS, Rollup as a Service. ZK Rollup is the tech, Rollup as a Service is the name being used in the industry. So if they are the Rollup as a Service provider and say they have 100, maybe 500 of these rollups launched on top of them, it makes you wonder what the restaking potential of POL could look like. And if this is yielding big amounts of returns for investors, of course, this would re-rate the token price upwards. Polygon's TVL is currently at 850 mil, but we can see in the bull market there, it was up towards $10 billion. So it looks like it has a lot of room to run in all the growth metrics. We're going to see a lot of rollups use their tech as well. It does indeed look a very bullish L2 for ETH. So I hope you enjoyed this one. You've learned a little bit from today's video. If you did, smash a like on the video, drop me a comment down below. If you don't understand some of the lingo, if you're new around here, ask me any questions. Happy to get back to you guys, and I will see you in the next one. Peace.